GM, can you guys hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. GM, everyone. GM John,
Good morning.
Arrota, NDR, ODVB, Tango Mike, CIMDB, Thomas Ferris, Jezil, Svikul, Lucky, Val Phoenix, Arrota, Volantius, Victorious, Suro, de Mountain, Call, de Mountain, Zagato-san, GM, everyone. How is everyone doing on this blessed Wednesday? How are you doing, John? Tell me. You have been grinding, John.
Oh,
Long
we've been
nights,
long
long
days, long nights.
nights,
It's been good though.
trying to strike balance between your Holocene leaderboard and fixing the game at the same time.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
How has this been going? Let's see where John is on the leaderboard.
Oh man, 100 and something, low hundreds,
That's
maybe.
not bad, John.
No, I've
That's not
been
bad.
that has been a part-time job in itself. 107. Oh man. No,
Well,
I gotta go
you
turn
gotta,
in some
you,
achievements.
yeah,
Been
you gotta
wrecked.
grind, John. You gotta grind. You need
See,
to establish dominance. You are a team
my
member.
stuff keeps getting blown up. Yeah, that's my problem.
You have been part of the great battles between Dione and Mud.
Yeah. I was Oni's best friend in that battle, unfortunately.
You helped the other faction.
Yeah, I was helping the other faction. Don't tell Med that.
That's
Don't tell them.
Yeah, no. It's actually serious business. People get pissed if you mess up the operations.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah,
funny.
no.
I was watching the Brazilian guild. There were like 23 guys waking up at 1 a.m. plotting attacks only. It was super funny. I
That's
was having
awesome.
a blast to watch them.
No, it was probably, I think the one on Friday anyway was I can't remember exactly what time it was. It was after business hours, I think. And I just saw this giant cloud of red moving toward MRZ-13, and I thought to myself, are the Starbase defenses working right now? Like, is that system online? And I was like, I don't think it is. And then I was like, well, I
And then
do have some.
notifications started popping up.
The notifications started popping up. Yeah, man.
This is funny.
Sage is screaming in my ear right now in the other tab. So I gotta go
Yeah,
turn it off.
Stage is working overtime. Poor Stage.
Yeah,
Lots of work for her.
no, good stuff.
Just a second, guy. My dog is. I need to open the door for him to leave the room.
For sure.
All right, I'm back. So, John, today we have a very interesting episode of the Atlas Brew because today we are going to advance into the next chapter. John is going to do, of course, a review on everything that he's doing currently on chapter 2, but we like to live in the future, we like to plan ahead, and we need to get chapter 3 started. And I was going through the backlog with John before this brew, and man, we have a lot to decide on. Like we have infinite amount of content to develop, and we need to make choices. We need to make important choices about what goes in, what's going to wait for other chapters, what's a priority and what's not. And today you have the possibility to influence our decision making, to steer Star Atlas into that direction that you feel it's better. So what we are going to ask of you guys today is to share with us what you want to see in the upcoming chapters of Holocene. What's the priorities for you? What you are liking the most in the current chapter that you don't want to change at all? What needs to be fixed or enhanced in future chapters? And any other feedback that you want to provide us on how Holocene works and lives. So, before we get started, John, you did a couple of fixes. I think we just have one less bug to squash, but we are getting there, right? I think Holocene is running a lot better. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
chapter
Mm-hmm,
2
for
was
sure.
overall a lot better than chapter 1, but even now, uh, I mean, Holocene is developing and improving by the day. So Morongo is giving a very good suggestion here, John. She
I
wants one
see
of the
that.
star bases to be named Morongo.
I'm actually naming one of them right now. Just
Yeah,
renaming.
it's the Morongo base
I'm
where
gonna
you
take
can.
one that I can't pronounce and I'm gonna change it to Morongo.
It will be the Morongo harvesting base. You can
Yeah.
only find Morongos there.
Let's see. Actually, all these spaces are pretty good. You know what? Okay, MRZ34, Javi Java Zone.
Nah, you're
No?
adding Morongos to Ulster's territory? She's on it, man.
Well, she's gonna have to come and take it over. I don't know. Anyway, that's funny. No, yeah.
uh,
A lot of we've definitely been in bug fixing mode. We've also been in new tooling mode. I talked about all that last week, so we're not going to talk about that more. But really quick recap on what we fixed. The Starbase upgrading. Those bases that we had upgraded during testing that couldn't be upgraded, we fixed that issue. We also simplified upgrading so that there's no tool or food upkeep requirements for that anymore. Um, and right away, as soon as that was fixed, we saw a few bases go right to tier 4, which was pretty cool. Um, and what else do we have here? Stealth update to crew. So I didn't make a big deal about this early in the season, but we had always intended there'd be a cap on the number of crew that you could have in chapter 2. And that was just because in the past, the chapters had gone on for many months into the postseason, and people who are diligent and claiming their crew were ending up with 3,000 crew or something, and they could just wipe the map themselves. So no more of that. You'll be capped around. We're aiming for about 800 or 900 crew to be the cap, and so you can get about 600 through the current quest system, storyline, and the daily check-in and the battle pass combined. And then we're going to add some social quests. We're going to tie those in with our own campaign, our own advertising campaigns, to try and drive people from X or from Reddit back into HoloSim. And so you'll get a social quest that says, post this thing in Reddit, and we'll try and link that to a crew airdrop. And then finally, we've talked a little bit about an in-app store. This is a free-to-play game, but we're going to have some in-app purchases. And the first one is going to be a crew pack or multiple crew packs. They're not going to be a lot of crew, and it's not going to be a super expensive thing. But it is going to allow you to. We've seen a lot of people say, "I'd like to buy crew," and we want to let you guys do that, right? So these would be good for the chapter, and it will give you a bit of an edge over obviously somebody who can't field that many crew. So yeah, you'll be able to purchase some crew. Yeah. So
that's good.
yeah.
That's good. When do you foresee this coming, John?
Um. So I had hoped it would be in the next. Let me see here. I had hoped it would be next week. But designing a proper like storefront where you can purchase them is still a thing. So I don't know. We might put them in with no storefront and it's just a button that you click to buy. Obviously, we want to have better UX than that. So there will be a proper store at some point that shows you what you can buy. Um, so I don't know. As early as next week, the following week, maybe something like that.
Interesting. People are asking questions. We'll be able to purchase crew with. Uh, yes, we'll be able to purchase crew. Is there gonna be a limit per purchase? What are the caps?
Yeah. So we haven't. So I have a meeting actually with Chris after this call to determine how many, but I'm thinking the cap will be 243. which is exactly the amount that you can use to field another imp capital miner. So the idea being, you own a battle pass. Sorry, if you don't own a battle pass, you can field one miner, one of those capital miners. If you do have a battle pass, you can field two. And if you purchase this booster crew pack, you could field three, but you wouldn't have any. Really wouldn't have much in the way of a fleet to protect them, sort of thing. So about 243. And then to answer Larinor's question, the purchase would be on top of the current cap.
How much does the pay to win crew cost?
Yeah. I don't know yet. I'm gonna talk to Chris after this
Yeah,
call about it. Yeah,
we'll make
it's
it one
it's meant to
dollar.
be affordable. Yeah, I don't know. Is it worth breaking your credit card out for a purchase that's $1? Right? Like, is that to me seems a little bit
Yes,
too
it
low.
depends on how much you hate the other faction.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, could
Morang
it
is
be
asking, could it
implemented?
be implemented the integration of Atlas and Polis in the game dynamics? Not
Um.
so soon, right, John? This is something
So do you mean
for the
like
future.
mainnet Atlas and Polis, or do you want Polis, Z Polis in addition to Z Atlas?
Z-Polis in Holocene is a concept that I like, honestly. Something that I really want to play with.
Right. Yeah. No, we'll have to wait and see. But I'll make an assumption. There won't be any integration of mainnet tokens in HoloSim. This is a free to play, top of funnel, not blockchain. It's a blockchain game underneath the hood, but it's not presented that way. So if you think about this from a product perspective, we advertise to the world. We show them that HoloSim is a very low barrier to entry. People come and they enjoy a neat story. They can pay with real dollars if they want to. They don't need to. Um, and those real dollars can turn into a reward at the end of the season that could include something that may go to mainnet. And that reward that they get, like a spaceship or a skin, leads them to the C4 mainnet product on Zinc or on mainnet. It doesn't come full circle and end up back in HoloSim kind of thing. So I think HoloSim will develop its own community of people who just want the free to play thing and will grow like that over the years. And we will do our best to take them from non crypto to crypto people by giving them mainnet rewards at the end of a chapter, sort of thing. But yeah, no plans to to have any way of making crypto purchases in game in HoloSim. No way to link your existing Polis locker or get any rewards in that respect. That would all happen in C4, and yeah.
John, the questions are starting to pile up,
Yeah, what do we got?
so I will start
Yep.
taking them on. First one is from NDR. This is a more a uh, reliability and infrastructure question. NDR is asking, one important issue I am facing for some days is that whenever I leave my screen, my automation stops.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Okay.
this
So HoloSim isn't an idle game. You're supposed to sit down and play, and then you're supposed to close your browser and walk away. So there's some automation that works um, very well for a game that's supposed to be close it and walk it away, sort of thing. Um, and this is how I treat it. I set it up at nighttime, and I'm like, maybe I'll survive the night, maybe I won't, and I don't. I never survive the night, which is kind of funny. Um, but it's not intended to be left on and walked away. If you do walk away from the screen, I want people to come and destroy your stuff, and you'd be like, I came back and I'm dead. Like that's the intended thing. The NPC
excuse?
is supposed to wreck you, and the other players are supposed to wreck you. And if not that, then Braves, auto shut down the tab memory system will wreck you, sort of thing. So
So it's not a bug, it's a feature. That's
it's a
the tip
feature.
there.
Yeah.
I have one from Lernor.
Yeah.
John, you mentioned it breaking the chapter in two. Can you talk about that? This is interesting. I want to know about that.
Breaking the chapter into. Oh yeah. So, what I meant by that was splitting the 8 weeks is a long time to have players glued to their screen competing for a spot on a leaderboard. So all I mean by that is let's split the season, the chapter's rewards into two parts and have like a mid-season checkpoint where we distribute something and then a end of season checkpoint where we distribute something else. We wouldn't do any kind of reset or anything in the middle. We would just like take a spot, take a snapshot at the 4 week mark and say here is a prize distribution for that. And that is to that's to let the high octane players go at it real hard for a month and then choose to either you know change their focus away from the leaderboard or to step back and do real life things, or if they want to continue on and get both be leaderboard spot in both, then that's fine too. But I was thinking an 8 week chapter is too long. We had the chapters at 6 weeks before, and we didn't want to do something that was not in a 1 month increment. So that's my
So
thinking there.
you want people to have actual lives besides Holocene?
You know what? I do. I want people to have lives, and I want Holosym to be a big part of those lives, but I don't want it to be like and have a negative impact on them. So as well,
This is madness, but okay.
madness. I know.
Bakery is asking a question.
Yeah.
Any ideas on how to tackle the subwarp chess play that we have? Kinda boring have a raid go 6 hours because everyone is subwarping. There's no strategy in this. Who warps first loses 80% of the time. When
Mm.
ranged attacks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Ranged attacks is an idea that I like.
So let's go. So warp and subwarp cooldowns are like an on-chain restriction that we could maybe engineer out. Um, this is a good like. Okay, you're right. It's not great. I warp into places and I just take the downfall of that. It's not a big deal to me. I get that some people like subwarping around because they think that there's a big advantage there, but really what wins is who has more firepower, right? So I don't know. I've got some ideas around how to change combat, but
I'm
uh,
sorry, John, but he's making fun of you. He says, "We can't compare your gameplay, John. You warp into enemies with sleds and tabs.
yeah,
This is
yeah.
disrespectful, Bakery, and respect
Uh,
John's history."
it's true. It's true. I am definitely not the. I definitely don't have the best fleet management skills. Uh, but anyway, um, yeah. Okay. What else? We'll work on it.
Uh, any other question, guys, before we move on to other topics? We have a lot to talk about today, so I want to keep moving as quickly as we can. John, I think
Mhm.
we can move forward to chapter 3 conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh no, sorry, NDR, sorry. NDR has a question. Did repairing a base issues, uh, did we solve the issue of base repairing? He's saying it's repairing immediately, leading to abuse.
So okay, I'll answer this one. Try to answer it tastefully. So this was brought to my attention yesterday, and I agree that that is the mechanic and that's how it works. Um, the base repair is supposed to cost more Atlas. Apparently, it's toolkits. There's the big drain. So, with it costing a significant amount of Atlas, I don't see that it needs any change at all. It just becomes do you run out of money before the attacker kills you or not kind of thing. I'm totally fine with people burning lots of toolkits and repairing a lot, especially in defense of their own bases, especially when star-based defenses aren't working yet. So for now, the plan is to increase the cost of using that feature. But it's already very expensive to repair, and so this idea that they can repair infinitely, it's not a thing. They'll run out of money eventually if you bring enough firepower. So um, yeah, I mean, I can see how it's being abused. I think a cooldown for dock and undock is in order. We already have that in place. I just need to extend it, and then increasing the fees to use the Starbase repair would be a really good combination. I think people would be like, "Oh shoot, I'm out of money now. I can't just sit here and repair infinitely." So
Interesting.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. It is
yeah,
super cheap, and it shouldn't be. It should. So the idea is a destroyed ship, one that's um, empty on hit points. It should cost you 80% of the cost of that fleet to repair it, just in toolkits. Okay, so the balancing part there is you're essentially rebuying the fleet when it's fully destroyed. So we're going to get that 80% out of toolkit usage. That's coming. And then we'll get the other 20% out of the cost in Atlas that you'll pay at the starbase. So if you have a tank ship that needs to be fully repaired, you're looking at 80,000 Atlas worth of toolkits and 20,000 Atlas worth of Atlas to repair it. So that's the intended mechanic. Um, again, combat hasn't really heated up just yet, and I did want to make sure that everything was working properly before I started slapping those repair costs on. So yeah,
which makes a lot of sense.
yeah. So it is. It's an 80% high risk zone. It's a soft complete destruction mechanic, and you get to keep the fleets and you get to keep the ships, but you don't get to just let them get wrecked and repair them or whatever. So yeah,
Awesome. Awesome. I think this was a good introduction to our conversation today. Now, let's move our eyes towards the future, everyone. I want to talk about chapter 3. And I think the best way, John, to get us started here is to showcase or at least discuss what we are thinking about for our chapter 3 in terms of mechanics.
okay. Do you want me to just get into it? Do you
Yeah,
want
yeah,
to? Okay.
please go ahead.
Okay. So let's go chapter 2.1 first. I do want to add a couple more achievements to chapter 1 based on combat. Not like a full feature set, but since we have combat and we have it at star bases and the star bases already have achievements attached to them, I want to add um, some combat related achievements to this chapter. Um, I want to unblock mobile so that you can log in with your phone and you can do basic fleet management and you can move stuff around. The bigger views like the quest view and the achievement view don't have mobile support and probably won't for this chapter or the next. But you'll be able to do most of the other things that you want to do with your fleets. Um, and that would kind of wrap up um, chapter 2. We also have like one small marketplace view change that we want to do just to make purchasing and selling resources simpler. You have to
Yeah,
toggle views, and you have to like we just want it all on one page, and we want the things you use the most at the top of the page, stuff like that. So
yeah, and
um
this one is actually pretty important for new players as well because
yeah,
it will be easy to identify what is a mining ship,
yeah,
what is a combat ship,
yep,
cargo ships, how your fleet composition looking in terms of fleet compositions.
yeah,
Yes, I think that's a huge one.
yeah. So that would round out chapter 2. Chapter 3 would be probably an extension on the chapter 2 story rather than not an extension. We probably have it in addition to the chapter 2 story. um I would like okay we can do anything. We can pick anything. The feature I'm thinking of picking to do next is scanning. And so we'd remove SDUs from the game, and scanning would be you'd have trigger conditions to your scan. So you scan an empty tile, and an asteroid is there that has rare materials on it, and you can mine those materials, get a big profit, bring it back to a base or whatever. Or you tie it to a quest that you got. Like you have to scan until you find a derelict ship in this area. And when you find the derelict ship, you rescue the crew on it, or you see that it's completely destroyed and you just bring that message back, that type of stuff. So those types of scanning things allow us to broaden achievements to not just like star bases and those sectors, but the quadrants in the map, and to we can take you anywhere on the map basically to do these things. So that is kind of the one that I'm zeroing in on. And I think that we could do quite a bit of content that way. So chapter 3 would be content update, new achievements, and scanning. And that would bring us through till I think that would bring us through till so chapter 3 would start in June, I guess. June, July, August, or July, August, September. No, June, July, August, and then chapter 4 would be September, October, November type thing, depending
So,
on.
ju-
Yeah.
just to recapitulate, the focus for chapter 3 is first uh, scanning as a gameplay
Mhm.
mechanic.
Yep.
Uh, sorry, John. What I see lots of people chatting, so my mind is.
Yep. I turned the chat off so I could speak.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
So we have scanning, achievements associated with that, RNG, right? For the scanning feature.
yep.
I don't remember if you mentioned the the NPCs.
I didn't. No, so the NPCs I treat as a separate branch. It's its own product, and then it runs in HoloSim. So there will be NPC upgrades all the way through chapter 2, 3, 4, 5. Like it'll just be a constantly evolving thing. And that's safe to say because it's a completely different repository. There's no like constraints changing it versus changing some other UI component or whatever, because it operates completely as a player. So and then but a good point to get in there is like at some point we want to go away from or in addition to faction aligned NPCs, we want unaligned NPCs, or we want multiple factions. Like the Ecos would actually be the Ecos faction, and the Jorviks would be Jorviks, and all these other races would get their own NPCs as well. Long term, that ties into your reputation with those factions, and then it ties back into like whether or not you have a good reputation with them or not, determines how hostile they are to you. And
I really want you to do this,
yeah,
man. That would be the coolest thing ever,
yeah, yeah.
guys. Um, I think it's time for us to hear what are the community's thoughts on this plan. How you guys feel about this dynamic, guys? Please share with us in the chat what you would like to see next in in Holocene, in chapter 3. Tell us.
Yeah. So Laranor said, "Can we have RNG?" That's exactly what the Anchor program on Solana does. Is it gives us the RNG that we. It's so funny, guys. I get all these messages from people that say, "I'm mining here, and I mined 10 things, but it only shows 9 showed up on the thing." And then it's like, okay, well that's a bug in Anchor, or it's a bug in the code somewhere, right? And so we squish all those bugs, and then we go and we add RNG, which is essentially adding this this unknown of do I mine something and actually get something for it. Um, so, so I think that's hilarious because we do have RNG. It's there built into the program and into the interweb, dropping our packets or whatever. Um, so, but yeah, no RNG. We'll fix all the bugs. Everything will run perfectly, and then we'll make it random.
And then we will randomize everything.
And we'll randomize everything. Yeah, it'll be good. Uh, okay, here's a question too. Like, what's the intersection of HoloSim and UE5 in the future? Um, HoloSim is a top of funnel, standalone, free to play game. Um, it takes people from introduction to Star Atlas and its IP and its beautiful art and its wonderful story, and it directs them to either Unreal Engine or I say C4. The mainnet assets that you get, um, to the extent that they exist in UE5, that's how we get people into UE5. If UE5 has a use for the thing that is dropped in HoloSim Chapter 2, then people will go to UE5. I don't see their so let me preface this. This version of HoloSim is also based on Starbase, like Sage Starbase, and will be deprecated at some point, right? Anchor and this old way of doing things through Sage will take a backseat to a new version of HoloSim in the future based on Starframe and the C4 engine. And to the degree that those products are integrated with UE5, so will HoloSim at that point. But that's in the future. But right now, we are going to continue releasing stories through this engine and improving it and being a top of funnel and bringing more users in. We've seen really great numbers as far as like new user acquisition, converting to battle pass purchases, converting to zinc subscriptions. Something like 50% of everyone who plays HoloSim purchases either a zinc subscription or a battle pass, which is like unheard of in web gaming, free to play. It's like unheard of. So we want to continue that track record. We want to reach new people, and we want to offer really good value for the entertainment they're getting in the way of battle pass, and then in the way of microtransactions that make sense. So,
I like this, John. Another thing that VB raised here, and something that we were discussing before this conversation here, John, is changing the format of the faction borders and systems. VB
okay.
is asking for us to have a free for all where you have you don't have faction borders, etc., etc. But maybe we could try a season where we have one single faction, or maybe two factions, or maybe have one faction for each star system. So players choose a star system to be their home, and they lose the game when their star base is taken by other factions. I think this would create a really interesting gameplay loop as well.
Yeah, I do too. You and I have like
Yeah, it's hard
offline
to
we've
do,
discussed
but
this kind of thing,
yeah.
and it's definitely like we have the sandbox. Like Holosim is a sandbox, and we could easily rearrange the map to have two factions. Adding a fourth one is harder, but just having two is fine. Having a completely different map with two star bases or 10 or something, that's totally doable. Um, so yeah, I could see us running something like that. I think we'll probably I think we'll probably get 4 or 5 chapters out of this version before we explore that. That would put us in 2027. But yeah, I think it's definitely doable. Um,
I like this idea a lot. People are asking us to remove the sidebar at the top, John.
the track quest one.
Yes,
All right, I'll do that right now.
or move it to the right.
No, I'm doing it right now. I just keep forgetting. What else? What else do you want changed?
What else, guys? We do it live.
We're
Tell
doing it
us.
live.
Something that people are saying, and I think this is something that we really need to pay attention to, John, is can we move or find a way to balance the different factions in terms of number of players? Also, is that a clear disadvantage against Mud? Yeah,
Um, yeah, we can. We could do that through a couple things. We could offer new players, a bonus for joining the faction that had the least amount of people, and we would only enforce that when there's like clear discrepancies in power and player base. Um, we do that through the Nemesis engine and the way that star bases are protected. When there's like clear imbalances, star bases get better defenses, right? Or less defenses. And we've already seen this in practice. Um, I mentioned it at the beginning of the call, like when Ani was getting steamrolled, there were no star base defenses in place, and I manually went in and activated those. Um, and um, partially because I didn't want to give people the wrong impression, like, oh, I can just wander in here and just do whatever. And partially because it was like, no, this is an intended game loop and it's not fully fleshed out yet. So anyway, that was fun. But yeah, we could channel people to those weaker factions. We could improve star-based defenses. We could have different market dynamics that like lower ship prices or something, or faster respawn timers or something like that. Yeah,
that's
those,
actually very cool.
yeah.
Drop your questions, guys. I see lots of people typing. When sector filtering for enemy destroyed fleets and searching for player names, it seems he wants to target people specifically.
Ooh, that's a good idea. Um, that's a really good idea. So maybe what we could do is like you can click on their name on the leaderboard and it like highlights all their fleets on the map or something. I don't know.
That would be
Maybe we could do
funny.
something like that.
That would be funny.
That's a really good idea. I like that. Let me do that right now. Hang on. What else?
We're doing it live. This is funny. Arthur is asking, why are tier 5 bases impossible?
Um, I don't remember what they are. Yeah, I don't remember. Sorry, guys. Can't remember. They're balanced so that tier 4 is the ultimate thing anyways, so having one less upgrade tier was probably for flexibility's sake, but um we went back and forth on starbase upgrades a few times. They were supposed to be when you capture the base, it destroys and erases the progress there, and the resources to upgrade them was lowered by 90%. um so an individual could go and upgrade a base themselves, but if it was captured, all those upgrades would be lost. So that was the original plan. And then when we got into the testing phase, um, we found that the starbase destruction part wasn't working, and things that you were keeping the starbase upgrade levels. So we needed to roll that back, and that's actually what caused our issues.
Uh, Oni is asking, why the graphic and visuals of the Holocene is not comparable with the UE5. I don't know what you meant to ask here, Oni. They are different environments, I guess. So things
Yeah,
are very
okay. So like Unreal Engine requires you to let's take a step back. You need to like load the game in a specific environment on Windows for the most part, right? And your graphics card hooks into a different engine. Like Unreal Engine is a completely different tool set than Pixie.js, which is what we're using here in browser. And so Unreal Engine utilizes as much VRAM as you can give it, and it uses all your processor and all your RAM and all that stuff. We're running the browser game in about 1 GB of memory inside your browser on very old hardware, and it's performant. And we're in real time showing something like 10,000 like fleets. And like if you count all the asteroids spinning and all of the stars in the background and all that, like the amount of stuff that we're rendering in browser for a gig of memory is like it's a beautiful thing. Like I don't know who was here for chapter 1, but the performance wasn't there and we spent so much time optimizing this. So to get the level of fidelity that we have with the performance that we have is actually a feat of engineering. It's a beautiful thing. And our team did an amazing job optimizing HoloSim. If you want like full fidelity rendered 3D graphics, then you use a different product for that. Like you don't do it in a browser. You do it on a dedicated engine like Unreal Engine 5, right? So um, I hope that answers the question.
I think it did. People are asking for a filter on the here. I'll link you the message. It's easier.
Right, give me a second to find it. Got too many browser tabs open. Okay, let's see what we got here. So this other fleets is so they want docked, destroyed enemy fleets, command fleets. That's a good, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna put this one into my trusty assistant here, and I'll do that as a feature request and open a branch in a minute here. It's a good one. Feature requests. Mm-mm. Got it. What else?
Mm. People, we are spoiling you guys way too much. People want to turn this into Age of Empires. People are
Okay.
asking about
I haven't played Age of Empires, so I'm gonna need more than that.
no.
No, I
Ah,
haven't. I think I've seen some videos of it, but I haven't actually played it. So
no, 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 no. You should have never have said this
I'm sorry,
publicly.
guys. I'm sorry,
You
guys. I
should
was a
have
World of
never said
Warcraft
this
guy.
publicly.
I'm like a Blizzard guy.
Age of Empires is like 10 years older than World of Warcraft.
I was not playing computer
A
games.
gamer.
The internet wasn't around 10 years before World of Warcraft, was it? Mm, anyway,
This is
I
fun.
was like a big flight simulator kid. I did like flight simulators and stuff.
So, what he's asking for is
Oh, I like
to drag.
StarCraft.
You played StarCraft?
Oh yeah. Hmm.
So what he wants to do is you drag the mouse and create a
Yep.
rectangle, and this
Yeah.
selects the fleets for
Got
you
it.
to control.
Okay. So that is a legitimate chapter 4 feature, and that ties into the map redo that we need, and that is a big feature. And so the the map zoom levels and removing the Starbase card, the big side menu. That side menu is going to go away, and then the Starbase menu is going to be a context buttons underneath, and you'll be able to like click a Starbase and have its controls right underneath. And then as you zoom in, you see more detail until you're on fleets, and then those fleets you'll be able to like drag your mouse and select them all and give them all the same commands if you want. So yeah, that's kind of a chapter 4 thing, and that's a huge feature. So I say chapter 4, that's the target, but it's a huge feature. It's that's the next major UI change for HoloSim for sure.
John, about
Mhm.
the RNG elements, we are adding like a loot table for scanning.
Uh-huh.
Do you think something similar is possible for mining as well, or for combat?
Mm. Uh, Mining is already a very intricate system, and I can't see how I don't. It would be a rewrite to add RNG to it. So no. In combat, like the atomic combat system has served us quite well so far. So if we were going to do a new combat system where missing and critting and all of that is a thing, then it could certainly see it being. I could certainly see it having a home there. Yeah.
Uh, a question for about bugs. Some
Mhm.
players are still getting crews stuck. Any
Yeah.
progress on that bug?
Yeah, I mean, I can sort of I can bring up the report here and I can tell you where we're at with it. So, um, oh, bugs. So, what we have is a case where um, crafting jobs that require multiple transactions to start because of the number of ingredients. One of the transactions fails and isn't retried. And so this is happening on recipes that have 5 or more ingredients. So one of those transactions fails. I think it's I think it's like a poor internet connection thing. And a lot of the times, if you have a poor internet connection, it just retries until it's done. But the thing lands on chain and then it doesn't land in your browser, and so you have a crafting job that's orphaned. Um, and then that orphaned piece gets cleaned up. I'm not exactly sure why, but it does. And so now you have a single component of a multi-step process that's like erased, and that's why people's stuff is stuck. So anyway, we've identified that that is the problem, and um, changed a number of the recipes. It seems that we haven't changed them all, so we're going to continue changing recipes so you can't get into that state. It looks like I need to create an admin instruction to find orphan accounts and refund them. And like this kind of goes back to our company ethos is like we have things separated in different tiers. I don't have access to the admin keys for a reason, and I don't want them. So this level of program change needs to go through Brave Target, and he's got it and working on it. And but it means that the fix can take longer because there's more back and forth until we identify the true cause of the problem and all that stuff. So all that to say, yes, I'm aware it's the number one thing on my list right now. It's what I've been working on all morning and what I'll continue to work on this afternoon until it's fixed. And the fix is to um, find people that have those orphaned accounts and either use an admin instruction to refund them or to freeze them and then reissue the crew that are missing. But haven't got a full thing on how we're going to do that yet.
John, something that VB mentioned that I feel it's super cool and important. How are we looking on guild mechanics? Could you also add Zpoli's governance features? Also things like universities with food upkeep to recruit crew.
Yeah. Okay. So two really good things there. The Zed Polis thing is something we've considered, and it wouldn't have, the only thing is it wouldn't have anything to do with your mainnet polis. Okay, so we'd have to come up with some other way to distribute polis through holosim, right? So we're not doing any kind of mainnet links. Nothing you have on mainnet has any effect on holosim. But definitely we could do territory influence, territory control could be distributed to players in polis throughout chapters. But yeah. What was the other one? So it's polis and crew, like crew wages or crew costs. Um, so so the way I want to tackle crew in the future is you don't just get them for checking in. You need to hire them, and they cost Atlas, and so you have to pay crew an Atlas wage. And so there would be a cap on how many crew you could hire, but the only limit is whether you have enough Atlas to pay them every epoch or not. And then they would be destroyed if you lost them in battle. Like we would like your crew would be dead. You get your ship back. You get the ship towed back or whatever. But and obviously like that's a whole system in and of itself. Um, we could have that ready for chapter 3? Question mark maybe. It's certainly something that I would like to do. Have like crew wages, not limit you or not gate you by like daily check-ins, um, but have them be something that you can hire and that they actually die and
John,
yeah.
Lerino has extreme anxiety and posted 3 times that we need to add patrol and crew costs of operations.
Patrol costs food. So patrol costs food. I think patrol is already patrol costs food. I don't know, man. I don't know. I know the argument for it, but like
Deny
um
it.
yeah. So NDR, there is a button. If you go to if you're on Windows and you go to the bottom right corner of your screen there, there's a little volume button there that you can um yeah.
Yeah.
And then if you do go into the holosim, I'm being cheeky, but if you do go into the holosim settings, you can turn off Sage's announcements. You can destination, engagement, mining, scanning, they're all customizable. So yeah, you can mute her. Yeah. I will look at turning her volume down. He has scared me right out of my chair a couple times when I forgot the game was on and someone invades a sector that we own and she screams in my ear that that an enemy is taking our starbase, and I legit have fallen out
Careful,
of my
man.
chair once doing that. So
Jesus, that should have been funny.
oh man. So, alert. Yeah. Alert.
When
I do that.
music follows St. John,
Oh man, when music. Okay. This is true. We need music.
let's add
And
my music, John. I need to start my musician arc now.
send me your music, Jose, because okay.
I'll
So
send you my
the that feature moving the action bar, the quest bar to the right, that's ready to go. We're pushing that right now.
John, did
We're
you
doing it
use
live.
the volume control on yourself? Because now you are super low for me.
Oh no. Really?
Oh no, I think it was.
You know what I did? I had my hands in covering my face and I was like,
Okay. You
yeah,
you are good now.
okay. Yeah.
People are mad at you. They want their volume control.
I'm gonna give them their volume control. It's coming right
Give the
now.
people what they want.
I'm gonna give them what they want. Yeah. For all the hard time that NDR gives me, he actually gives me all of the really good, juicy feature requests as well. So I'm happy to
To oblige.
take them to oblige. Yeah. Okay.
He deserves.
Yeah, he does. Okay, I'm gonna try this to the right. See if we can't get this one launched before the brew is over. Space coat. Thank you, Arthur. I like being a space goat. Okay. Okay, next.
I am sending you the songs now.
Okay, thanks.
Any last questions? Anything you guys want to share, cry about? Thank you, Arthur. We appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Bakery is asking, can we implement an official feature request pipeline where we see what's declined and accepted? Maybe a Holosync roadmap. Hmm.
Yeah, that's okay. So basically, every single feature request that I see, I screen cap and I feed into my this is feature core request. So everything that you suggest goes into a sort of sorted list, and if it's feasible and it's something doable, it gets built. And I think that I think we can see just from how much has changed from the beginning of the chapter till now that that is the case. So but getting it in front of you guys, I could probably easily do so you could see, and I just put it in that Notion page where the bugs are tracked, and it would just be feature requests, and you could just see as those are being updated in real time, sort of thing. I think that's fair. I think we can do that.
Nice. Hmm. Ah, no, Emperor, the council didn't speak. If you want to join real quick and give the council announcements.
Hey there, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect. Hi, guys. Yeah, thanks for
Hey.
giving me a second. Xcode, thank you so much for all the work. It's so cool to see you do this stuff live, too. It just blows me away.
Thanks.
You're doing God's
Appreciate
work.
it.
Yeah. I just wanted to give a quick shout out. We have thresholds for our pips, and we're not quite to the threshold of PvP that we would like by the end of the first week. So there are 2 pips up for vote. It's the Atom pip and then Funcracker's pip that he has up for the relay program. So I encourage people to go vote, read the chatter in the voting threads in the voting threads and make your PvP matter. So it's quick and short, but please go out and vote. That's all I had. Pretty easy. I think Jose's muted now.
He is. Yeah, awesome.
Cool. That's all I had. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Are you able to? I know that we have those channels, but for maybe new people, do you want to link those channels in the chat? Those pips
Yeah,
are?
I'm on mobile on a job site, but I will.
Okay,
I
no
should be able
problem.
to do it. Nope, I
Oh,
can do it.
Jose's got it. Jose's got it.
Okay,
All good.
perfect. Excellent. Thank you.
Cool.
Cool.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. Thank you.
Jose, you're still on mute, by the way.
Jesus Christ, I am dumb. I was talking.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, all right, guys. Thank you all for another great episode, for your participation. Today, the people participated a lot. I really liked this episode of the Atlas Brew. Actually, oh, Bakery, now you want the code. You weren't paying attention, huh? Just adding more stuff for us to do without paying attention. Hmm? I'm joking. Yes,
Jose's making the code right now. He's
the
like
code is
typing it into his
progressing.
keyboard.
No. It's already there. Progressing is the code for today. Go claim the code. You need it. And I guess that's it, guys. Thank you all so much. Thank you, John, as always. It was a pleasure talking with you guys about the future of Holocene. And we'll see each other next week. Bye,
Thanks,
everyone.
everyone.
Have a nice
Yeah.
day. See ya.
Bye.